Welcome students to Naveen Sir Physics classes. In last lecture we completed about elastic collision in one dimension, and we also discussed some cases related to the velocities of objects after collision. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the inelastic collision. So what is meant by inelastic collision? Inelastic collision. So we know that already. Elastic collision in which law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of kinetic energy is valid. But here, in case of inelastic collision, only law of conservation of linear momentum is valid. Law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, but not law of conservation of kinetic energy. That means some energy is lost during the process. Let us take one example here. So an object of mass m1 moving with initial velocity u1, another object mass m2 moving with velocity u2. If u1 greater than u2, then after some during the collision, the force acting on 1 due to 2, force acting on 2 due to 1. So but here after collision, the final velocity is v1 v2. But here what is valid? Law of conservation of linear momentum is valid. According to that, initial linear momentum of system is equals to final linear momentum of system, we can write. So it is valid. But what is not valid? Law of conservation of kinetic energy is not valid. That means initial kinetic energy of system of m1 u1 square plus of m2 u2 square is not equals to of m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So this is not valid. That means ki is not equals to kf. That means there is some loss of energy. Kinetic energy will be lost. So in which form it will be lost? It lost in the form of heat energy, or it lost form in the form of sound energy. Okay, na? So it is also lost in the form of work done by friction. So in these ways there is a loss of energy in inelastic collision. So can you give an example for inelastic collision? So road accidents. So road accidents between the vehicles is an example for inelastic collision. So when one vehicle is participate in collision with another vehicle, so what will happen here? Momentum is conserving but not kinetic energy. After participating in collision, so what happens? They are going to be produce a sound. In the same way, due to stopping the vehicles, the ground plays an important role because the friction is acting in the form of friction. Also some energy will be lost. This is an inelastic collision. So in this we have an application. That application is perfectly inelastic collision. So let us see what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision. So what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision? So it is a type of inelastic collision only. So that means here also law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, but not law of conservation of kinetic energy. So what is the difference between inelastic collision and perfectly inelastic collision? Let us see what is the difference between the two. m1 u1, and it is participating, both are moving in the same direction. Initial momentum of system m1 u1 plus m2 u2. So after collision, this is during collision. During collision and after collision, both the bodies are stick together and they moves with a common velocity. So stick together. That means velocity of first body and velocity of second body is same. After collision, they moves with a common velocity. So that kind of collision is known to be perfectly inelastic collision. So simply we can write a collision in which law of conservation of linear momentum is valid but not law of conservation of kinetic energy. And after collision, both the bodies stick together and moves with a common velocity. So in this process, let us write the formula for what is the formula for common velocity. So here only law of conservation of momentum is valid but not kinetic energy. We cannot approach with law of conservation of kinetic energy this phenomena. Let us write final momentum of system m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So from law of conservation of linear momentum, P initial is equals to P final. Initial momentum equals to final momentum. So we can write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, but we know that v1 v2 is equals to same. That is, I am representing with common. So we can write m1 plus m2. We can get the common v. So v common m2 u2. Therefore, common velocity in this m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. This is the common velocity of both bodies after collision. So here what if both the bodies, if both are moving in the same direction, if both are moving in the same direction and we are getting u1 plus m2 u2, if they are moving in opposite direction, case 2, if objects are participating in perfectly inelastic collision in opposite direction. That means first object is moving opposite to second object. m2 u2, after collision both stick together and they moves with a common velocity. v1 equals to v2, that is equal to v common. Generally we can take left side negative. Okay, that means here sign of u2 will be negative sign of u1 will be positive sign. Let us use the same formula. Initial momentum phi is equals to m1 u1 minus m2 u2 because opposite direction. And then what is final momentum? Both are in the same direction, that's why m1 v1 plus m2 v2 we can. Let us equate the two. Initial momentum is equals to final momentum. We are going to get m1 u1 minus m2 u2, that is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So here v1 v2 common, so we are going to write m1 plus m2 as v1 v common. So v common m1 u1 minus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. So this is if the objects are moving in opposite direction and they are participating in the collision in perfect inelastic collision. So this is the final velocity formula. Okay, right. Let us see one more phenomena, so which we are observing in our daily life, that is impulse. Sir, what is mean by impulse? So before going to discuss about the impulse, I will give some examples. So when you are catching a ball, when a player is trying to catch a ball which is coming from a height, so after catching the ball, immediately he lower his hands. So why he is lowering his hand? Because when this object is coming with a particular velocity, it due to its momentum, some force is acting on this. Okay na? So here what he is doing, whatever the force acting on the person, you can write delta P by delta T. So when you are lowering the hands, the interaction time with your hands with the ball will be increasing. If the interaction time increases, the force acting on the person will decreases. Okay, and I will give one more example also related to this. In carrying goods from one place to another place, so some they will be wrapped in a bubbled paper. So bubbled sheet is there, so they are wrapping the items in a bubble sheet. So why they are wrapping in a bubble sheet? Because the bubbles are filled with air. So when they are wrapping an item in a bubble paper, so due to collision or due to interaction, the air will increases the interaction time with the object. As the interaction time increases, delta T increases, force acting on the object will be decreased. That means the chance of damaging the object will be reduces due to wrapping in this. In the same way, you know that generally when you are purchasing a new electrical appliances like TV, refrigerator, washing machine, or now even mobile phone also, so they are keeping in a proper cartoon, like, so when they are wrapping the TV, so beside the edges they are surrounded by sheets of thermocol. In the same way, refrigerator also they are covering, all the edges will be covered with a thermocol sheets. Why they are covering with thermocol sheets? Because thermocol sheets will increases the interaction time. So when the interaction time increases, force acting on the object will decreases. So due to increase in interaction time, we are reducing the force. Simply what? Very short interval of time, as the force is acting, the change in momentum will be greater. So because of that, what I am doing, I am increasing the interaction time by wrapping the items in thermocol sheets or in bubble sheets or in hard cartoons. We are packing them. In the same way, when you are carrying the china dishes, so what are they, like cup saucer or like glass item? So these items will be transported from one point to another point or one place to another place. So they definitely wrap in a papers. So papers are they are wrapping in a grass. So why they are covering with papers or grass? Because the papers or grass are soft and they increases the interaction time. If the interaction time increases, force acting on them will be decreases. So these are the general examples in our daily life. In the same way, for automobiles or four wheelers, so if you observe the bike, front wheels of the bike is arranged with a shock absorbers. In the same way, the back will also arrange with shock absorbers like spring arrangement. So what is the duty of the shock absorbers? When the vehicle is moving in a uneven roads, so directly if they're traveling in a uneven road, the maximum force is acting on the person who is riding the bicycle. So to avoid that maximum force acting on that one, they are arranging the shock absorbers. So what is the duty of the shock absorbers? It name it shows shock. So sudden shock that will be reduced by the shock absorbers. So as they are vibrating front and back, the interaction time, the duty of the shock absorbers is to increase the interaction time. As the interaction time increases, force acting on the person will be decreases. So for any vehicle, there must and should be an arrangement of shock absorbers. So what is the duty of the shock absorbers? When the vehicle is moving in a uneven roads, the greater force acting on the rider is reduces by the due to oscillations of the springs present at the nearby the front wheels and back wheels. So as they are moving, the shock absorbers are vibrating, they are increasing the interaction time, and then force acting on that person will be reduces. So these are some examples where we can see the change in momentum. Simply impulse nothing but what? A large magnitude of force acting on a body leads to the change in momentum. So this is known to be impulse. So impulse is nothing but simply it is what? Change in momentum. We will write here. So what is mean by impulse? So these are some examples. So impulse J, it is the product between force and interaction time, or simply it is the change in momentum of an object due to greater force in a given time. Therefore J we can write F into delta T. This is nothing but force into interaction time is also known to be change in momentum. So unit of the impulse and unit of the change in momentum both are same. So unit we can write according to this expression Newton second we can write, or dyne second. So this is SI unit of the impulse and this is CGS unit of the impulse. And in terms of momentum we can write kg meter per second or gram centimeter per second. So this is about unit of the impulse. Simply remember impulse nothing but it is equals to change in momentum. So sometimes they are going to give the graph between force and interaction time. So force and interaction time, they are going to ask calculate the impulse. So simply we can calculate area under the graph. We can write area under F and T gives delta P or impulse. Okay, right. So in this lecture we are also discussing about the Newton's second law. Sir, already we discussed Newton's second law. Again, why we are discussing Newton's second law? So the last discussion what we did based on Newton's second law, that is constant mass. So Newton's second law now we are going to discuss for variable mass system. Variable mass system. Sir, is it possible to get a system whose mass is changes? Yes, some systems are there. Let us discuss the Newton's second law for variable mass system. I told you when we are discussing about the Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law? To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. We also discussed that example for motion of a rocket is a best example for Newton's third law. So in the lower chamber of the rocket, the fuel is present. If we observe that as the fuel is combusting, that means as the fuel is burning, the gases will be ejected. So when the gases are ejected, as the fuel is consuming, what is going to be changed? The mass of the fuel changes with respect to time, but the speed of the rocket is constant in vertically upward direction. Okay na? So now can we say the rocket is an example for mass variable system? Right. Next example we will take. I have a system like conveyor belt system. So conveyor belt nothing but it is used to carry the goods with the help of a belt from one point to another point. So best example you can take it as an escalator, or in airports you can see the luggage carriers. So we are keeping the luggage on the belt, the luggage will be carried from one point to another point. So on the belt we are keeping the luggage. So different times we are keeping the different masses on it. So as some persons are taking the goods, some persons are keeping the goods, and with respect to the time what happened, we are adding some mass to it. That means here mass is changing with respect to the time, but the belt is moving with constant speed. That means conveyor belt. Conveyor belt is also an example of mass variable system. Now let us write the formula for this. So what is Newton's second law? According to Newton's second law, the rate of change of linear momentum is directly proportional to force acting on it. Right. What is the formula for P mass into velocity? So generally velocity is changing. So but here what is going to change? Mass is going to change. Therefore I am writing V constant and dm by dt we can write. So this is the Newton's second law. Newton's second law for variable mass system. Okay, na? Right. So here also we can write the same formula. F is equals to V into dm by dt. Sir, what is mean by dm by dt? So dm by dt nothing but rate of change of mass. So how much mass is added to this? So for suppose based on this the question will be asked like this. The fuel in the lower chamber of the rocket burning at a rate of 20 kg per second. The rocket is moving with a constant speed of 20 meter per second. Then what is the thrust acting on the rocket? Thrust nothing but force which is acting upward direction. So we can write F is equals to V given 20, and what is the rate of change of mass? Dm by dt given. So dm by dt into 20. Therefore 400 newtons is a thrust acting on the rocket. Okay, so these are the some examples related to the Newton's second law for a variable system. So conveyor belt is an example for Newton's second law for a variable mass system. In the same way, this can also consider as an escalator. In the same way, lift also we can consider varying mass system. Okay, because some persons are adding, some persons are releasing when it is in motion. So like that, where the mass is changing with respect to the time, still the object is continuing with a constant speed. That kind of systems are known to be variable mass system, and this is the expression for variable mass system. F equals to V into dm by dt. We can easily identify that they are going to give the rate of change of mass in terms of kg per second. Okay, so this is complete information about the Newton's laws of motion, momentum, collision, and the same way perfectly inelastic collision. All the concepts till now we discussed. So in next lecture we are going to focus on numericals based on these concepts. Okay, thank you, take care, stay safe.